Hiya, Matt Baker here with the Petcast. Now, this is a podcast all about pets. So I am towing my caravan as a mobile studio all around the country to meet famous people and not just talk about their pets, but to meet their pets as well. I've brought the Petcast caravan to Berkshire, to the home of a footballing legend and an ice skating extraordinaire. Now, this place is also home to foster cats. So, from skating on thin ice and saving goals to saving kittens, let's welcome to the Petcast, David and Frankie Seaman. Welcome. Come on in, David. What do you think?
This is ace.
It's sweet, isn't it? It's a bit similar to your sort of fishing van vibe.
Ooh, there you go.
Is Frankie coming as well?
Yeah,
or is she
she's just trying to get one of the cats.
She's trying to get one of the cats in. Are you all right, Frankie? You often take your cats for a walk. No,
we don't need to. It's like Cat Disneyland, isn't it?
Oh, David. Well, what a beautiful place to live.
Oh,
I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere here. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's special.
I can hear Frankie calling.
Yeah.
Oh, who have we got here? Who's this?
Willow.
This is Willow. Hello, Willow.
This is Willow.
Gosh, she's got gorgeous eyes, hasn't she?
I was rescued when I was 9 weeks old.
Yeah.
And she's been here ever since.
And how many cats have you got under the roof at the moment here?
Yeah,
there's
a few.
In all, because I imagine that there's sort of lots of different characters.
Yeah, so we have 4 cats personally, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk us through them?
Yeah, we've got Smokey, who's our eldest one. He's, 17 now?
And he's diabetic.
Yeah, so
Wow.
he has...
That's a good age, 17.
Yeah, he has 2 jabs a day, so... But,
Does he?
yeah.
So that's Smokey, Willow. Who else is here?
And then we've got Coco.
Coco.
Coco is a Siamese with white feet. What are they called?
Yeah, so she's a really rare breed. They're called a snowshoe, and it's actually one of the rarest breeds in the world. She's not a full snowshoe. She was born under a school. She's feral, by all means.
Yeah.
And was she rescued as well?
She was rescued from under a school with her sister Candy. They came to me as fosters. I foster for Cats Protection. I have been for the last 10 years. And you know what, Matt? I'm really proud of myself because I've never, ever kept any kittens. In that whole time, I've had hundreds of kittens through my nursery. And I think, it's amazing that I've never kept any. And then 2 came along and I was like, yep, we're keeping those.
Oh, my word. And then
but the other one, there was 3 in the litter, and the other one in the litter was black and white. Just, yeah.
Yeah, bonkers. So they were born under a school. They were rescued by Cats Protection. They came to me for socialisation. There's a really small period of socialisation for kittens. It's between 2 to 8 weeks. And if you don't get your hands on them in that time, it can be very difficult to then tame them. They revert to feral really quickly.
That window is so key, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, I have tamed kittens that were older than that. It is possible, but it requires a lot of intense work with the kitten. I have been fostering, as I said, for Cats Protection for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I have a dedicated nursery specifically for queens, which are pregnant cats.
You've got a room specifically for this?
I do, yeah. And it's set up, it's the tiniest room in our house because I only deal with neonates, so that means newborns. So either they're queens that give birth here or they're orphaned kittens or abandoned kittens that are found without a mom.
Right.
And so it's a tiny room, and you'll see, because hopefully I'll be able to take you guys in there later.
Oh, fantastic.
But it's really hot in there.
Right.
So kittens cannot thermoregulate until about 4 or 5 weeks of age, and so the temperature has to be very high, otherwise they'll die of hypothermia quite quickly. You know, most people get cats when they're 9 weeks old plus. So I do feel that kittens at a certain age, they're ready to leave their siblings or their litter mates, they're ready to leave their mom, they're ready to find their own territory. Cats are all about territory. They only care about territory. So as long as their territory is safe and their own, they're happy. So kittens are ready to move and find their own territory. But the moms, it's really sad because they've been surrendered by somebody or they've been abandoned by somebody. And then they come here and then they think that I own them. They think that they live with me.
Yeah.
And then I give them back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you get upset, don't you? But
because it's like surrendering them again. Yeah, it's really sad.
then I say, well, that's another lot done. When's the next lot coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't give
them, like, isn't it?
if I don't give them back, I can't help others.
Absolutely. And you're working with, Cats Protection, as an asset, really. It's not as if you're just welcoming endless amounts of cats here. Otherwise, you just wouldn't be able to cope. So you're buying into it, knowing that actually they're with you for that short amount of time. And we'll get on to more about your work as we chat. But let me take you back to sort of the beginning of your lives with animals. And for you, David, what was the first pet that you ever had that you can remember?
Yeah, well, I can remember straight away. So my mum and dad bought a grocery shop, or stroke baker's sandwich shop,
Right.
Matt Baker.
Yeah, it's perfect.
when I was 14,
Right.
and like for me and my brother, that was like going into Disney World because
Yeah.
we got like free access to suites and things.
Wow, right.
So anyway, my mum and dad then bought a guard dog, but it was a little puppy Alsatian.
Oh, for the shop to help
for
with
the
it.
shop, yeah,
Right.
but obviously it was tiny. I remember going with my dad to pick it up in Sheffield, and I'm sat in the back of the car with this Alsatian pup in my hands like this.
Oh, wow.
So he was called Ben, and he lived there for a long, long time.
How old were you?
14.
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
And-
Were you already 7'12"? With a moustache.
Exactly. I was born with my tash.
Well, it's an
But, yeah.
interesting point. Were you, I imagine you'd have been playing football.
At
Quite
14,
regularly
yeah, I
at
was
that
playing
age.
like for the school and like the town side and county side, and
Yeah.
just playing. But back in them days, we did lots of sport.
Yeah.
My school there was no rugby at the school. It was just football, athletics, and cricket.
Right.
And I did all that and played, for my county at that as well.
And
so,
you used to sneak off to the ice rink to pick up girls, apparently.
True, yes. I've been known to go to Sheffield.
Nothing's changed.
Wow. But I imagine, I used to play a lot of football with my dogs when I was
Right,
younger.
yeah.
So do you remember sort of,
Not so
passing
much
the ball
with the dog.
with
No, but I remember going out. So one of my best mates who was like really good footballer, but he never made it actually. So at school he was fantastic. A guy called Daz Orley, and he had a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Wow.
And we would go for walks for ages, and we would go, and I'd got the Alsatian, he got his Rhodesian, we'd go all in the parks. And I remember once we got them on the lead, and his dog walked past this little lad, and he was eating an ice cream, and the Rhodesian Ridgeback just went,
I love that.
just
Yeah, it was
took the top of the ice cream off. We were like, and then the mum was like, "Oh my God, you've got to buy him another one." And we hadn't got any money.
Oh,
we were like, "We ain't got any money with skin."
wow.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah. But I imagine Ben was a big dog, though.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
proper. He was proper big German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Oh, I love German
and
Shepherds.
did the right thing by guarding the shop. So
Yeah,
he
for
was,
sure. Yeah.
Plus, he was a great pet.
Yeah. And how about pets after that? Did you, obviously you then go through, because you'd been going through an enormous amount with your football and what have you. Did you have pets during your footballing career?
Yeah,
as well?
so like when I first moved to Peterborough, I had a couple of cats, got a couple of little kittens, so all the way through my football career, I've always had dogs or cats.
Have you?
So it was 2 cats to start with. Then I moved, and then I got 2 Springers. Springer Spaniels.
Wow.
Yeah. I lived out in the countryside near
A
Walton
lot of
Abbey.
go then, so they were constantly on.
Never known energy like it.
Yeah.
You take them for a long walk, and then you come back and sit down, and then the female Jess, she'd like grab a pebble and drop it and bark like mad till you threw it.
Yeah.
So just energy like for days. And then mix that, so I had 2 dogs, mix that with 3 cats, I think it was as well.
Wow. Quite the menagerie then.
Yeah,
Really, yeah.
yeah. Then later on, had 3 rescue dogs plus 2 cats as well. So totally different ones. All
Yeah.
like an Alsatian mix, like a Dobie mix, and then a little terrier type dog. So always had them, but now it's just cats.
Now it's cats, yeah.
'Cause they fit for us, don't they, cats?
Yeah,
Because
they
with the
suit
dogs,
us.
there's a lot of commitment, and you've got to be there and walking them every day. And
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
with the cats, they've got their own little cat flap, and
Yeah.
they can get out when they want.
And what is it, Frankie, about cats? Have you always been cat obsessed? Have you had dogs, or has it always
I've
been
had
cats?
dogs, yeah. I rescued my first cat when I was probably under 5. So I had quite a tumultuous childhood, and I was orphaned at a young age, and then I would sit by the kitchen window and I would feed the local neighbourhood, and it was a low window, a bit like your caravan, and I could reach out and I would feed the local stray. And back in those days, I'm going back nearly 50 years, cats and dogs weren't owned in the same way that they are now. They were a bit more free roaming. So I'd feed the local stray cat because she was just always around, and then one day she jumped through the window with 4 kittens. Which she was then promptly marched back to her owners up the road. And then about 6 months later, the same thing happened again with 3 more kittens, which we ended up keeping, which was very lovely. So I've always rescued cats my whole life. I've always had cats in my life. As an adult, I've had dogs. I had a kind of Corso, which is a big, powerful breed, as you would know.
Yeah.
So I've always loved animals. In fact, David probably, like a very stereotypical 90s footballer, really, really loves birds. He loves the birds. He didn't tell you that, but he's really, really into birds. So you know all of the different breeds. He can tell even by species. He can tell even by the tune.
Some of the noises that the birds make, the songs and that I can tell, and just knew everything. And then obviously then a passion developed of birds of prey, Kes the film.
Yeah, of course. Well, that would be like local for you, wouldn't it?
Barnsley, isn't it? So it was watching that and reading the book and just building up a love of birds of prey, and kestrels, and then it developed into buzzards and all that sort of thing.
And then we're lucky where we live now because we have quite a collection of wild birds that have just sort of habituated or become part of the family, really. So they have sort of tamed us, and when they call us, we feed them because that's how it works. And we've got a kite that will come when we feed him. We've got swans that we've got a pair of swans that come to us every year around February when she's ovulating. She'll sit in the sun on the lawn and she'll ovulate, and then they go off and have their nest. They bring their babies back to show us. We've got a pair of Egyptian geese who are not as successful, I have to say. We've only had babies once in 9 years. Yeah, they're on a short tenancy if they don't bring me more babies. We've got a couple of Canadians who actually aren't breeding, but he had an injury and he was with us for about 2 years, wasn't he?
But what normally happens with the Canadians, though, is like two of them come up early in the season.
Centuries.
Yeah. And then,
so these are geese we're talking about.
Yeah, Canadian geese.
Quite vicious.
And then I'm sure they go back to the big flock when they've all got their young and that, and then they all seem to come up and get on the grass and do their stuff on the grass.
You mean poop?
Which is not always about eating the grass.
Why are you trying to be so polite? It's poop.
It's fertilizer.
Yeah. I mean, this is incredible. It seems like you're a sanctuary for needy animals.
We've had a lot. We raised some ducklings. Never again, I will say. It's hard work because we kept finding abandoned eggs on the lawn, didn't we? Just plopped every morning. Anyway, we found these 6. We incubated them. We set up a whole system in my spare bedroom called Duckingham Palace.
Perfect.
I mean, there was a heat lamp, there was a dining room, there was a water.
There was even a swimming pool.
There was a swimming pool. But we say never again. And my stepdaughter Georgina was desperate for us to have pet ducks, and I said, no, I don't really want pet ducks. I knew there was a lot of work involved, and I knew I wasn't. If you asked me, you could bring me half a kitten, and I can tell you if I can save it, and I can tell you whether you should or whether you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about ducks. So it was a lot of research.
One time I was in charge of looking after them, and they'd gone. I was like, when they're gone, and they'd gone down river, and I was like, I went down the river trying to look for them with the torch and everything. They would have. I'm sure they would have been all right, but because we were so protective about them.
And he called me. He's like, I can't get the ducks back. I found them, but I can't get them back because they wouldn't respond to his voice. So I literally had to leave a WhatsApp voice note with my special call that I had for these ducks.
I swear, I was playing it on my phone at night, and then slowly walking back up river to get them back into the garden.
My voice on a WhatsApp. A legend was born that day.
Goodness me.
But they did fledge, and they occasionally come back to visit us, don't they? We can tell.
And do you know it's them?
Well, because they'll come into the house. We don't want them in the house, but they'll try and come into the house. We're like, no.
We've even got 4 cats. They must be brave ducks or daft.
My word.
Yeah, so we know that we can tell they're ours because they're not afraid of the cats, and they'll try and get into the house.
Well, you've got a beautiful place here. And when you were looking to buy a place together, were you looking for somewhere that would be a bit of an animal sanctuary? I mean, I know you love fishing, David. Anyway, we've been filming with Country Fire and all sorts, haven't we?
That was the only requisite, wasn't it?
It was just the river, weren't it? Because we lived in Marlow for a couple of years, right on the river, and that was so good, and just wanted to be able to fish in my garden, sort of thing. Yeah. And then when we came here, we went through the little gates, and I saw the river that is a proper river. On the actual pictures that we saw, the brochure, it looked more like a stream.
Right.
As soon as I saw the river,
no, it's a proper river.
I'm like, we're buying it, and Frankie's like, calm down. We've not even looked inside yet.
I was trying to negotiate, people. He was already with his checkbook out. I'm going to calm down. You could learn a few things.
So you needed some water, and did you need a space to be able to sort of live out your animal dreams?
I mean, I was always going to live out my animal dreams, no matter where I was. You could put me into a jail cell, and I would find a fly or a spider or something to nurture. So, I mean, that was not really the issue. I mean, obviously the river was the main prerequisite. He wanted to be on a river. I'd never lived on one before until we had lived in Marlow, and I loved it so much that we were both very much aligned in that respect. Yeah. And really, the house was whatever it was, but the garden for us was always going to be the big selling point because I love gardening and I love nature and wildlife. So yeah, I mean, but I could make we had a small flat before that, and I made a garden there. So I think where there's a will, there's a way, right?
And so take me back to when you were young. Did you say you were orphaned?
So I was orphaned when I was young, and I think as an only child as well, I think it was really important for me to have a relationship with animals and be able to look after something. And I think, when you have siblings or when you have parents, that is taught to you without you even noticing. Your parents look after you, or your siblings look after you, or you look after your siblings.
Yeah.
And that rearing and nurturing is ingrained in you from your first memories, of course, there's somebody there to look after you. And when you're an orphan, I think perhaps you don't have that. I don't know, I can't speak for other people's experiences. But I think you don't have that, and you look for an outlet for that. So certainly with me, with cats, I was always naturally very, attracted to cats, and they were always naturally very attracted to me. And I had great friends around me, so I had a system, I had family system around me. But I did always look to cats, and I think they probably taught me how to look after somebody else, how to look after something else, how to be responsible, and also empathy for another living being, whether it be a human or a creature. So I'm very grateful to cats for that, and I think that probably drives my obsession with fostering, because I think it's important to give back if you can. Like I said, there are 9,500 volunteers with Cats Protection, and that's just one animal charity. So I'm not the only person that feels that it's important to give back if you can, and to help creatures that don't have a voice, because there's so much cruelty out there. And working with charities, it's not the only charity I work with. I'm patron of a cat shelter in Sheffield. It's been there for 167 years, the Sheffield Cat Shelter. Big shout out.
Yes, hi to everybody listening and watching.
Sheffield Cat Shelter, because they're incredible people too, and that's a very small charity. So I think, there are a lot of people in that community that understand the importance of saving small lives that other people, overlook or disregard, or, can be abject abusive towards, or cruel towards. And working with charities, you see a lot of cruelty and abuse, and it is horrific. It's heartbreaking, but you just have to stay focused on what you can do.
And I mean, you must get an enormous amount out of it personally as well, to see these sort of almost helpless kittens at times, certainly if you're hand rearing them, because I know you do that as well, don't you? And then you see, you can then pass them on and release them into the world after all of that care and attention that you've given them. Yeah,
it is nice, because as you'll know, having had cats yourself, cats can live 15, 20 years. And I always think if you've raised a cat and then sent it on to live with somebody, they're going to bring 15 to 20 years of happiness to a family, or to a person, a single person, or whoever. They're going to be very, very bonded to their owner. So it does bring me an enormous amount of joy. I have a little Twitter account actually that I set up specifically to reach out to owners of cats.
And what's that? What is that account?
It's Kittens Cam, or Fairy Cat Mother. And some of the cats that have been rehomed via me fostering them, the kittens, are now cats. Of course, I've been fostering for 10 years. So, I'm still in touch with some of those owners via my little Twitter account. So it's nice to see them as like adult cats and how much joy they've brought to those families, and the children that have grown up with them as well, which is it's really, really quite joyful. It's quite a celebration.
And then sometimes Frankie shows me a cat of about 8 years old. She goes like, remember this one is a little kitten? Yeah, of course I
do. How involved do you get with it all, David? I mean, honestly.
I'm mucking a little bit. I help sometimes. I help clear out
which bits?
You know what.
He's the shoveler. Are you the shoveler? Yeah.
Sometimes I do. I'm not with this one. Yeah, but sometimes, like when they're feral though as well, it can be interesting going into the room, because they can be quite protective.
You need some cat-like reactions there, David.
I used to have them. That's a long time ago. But so they can get really spicy at times. So it's so interesting to watch it. And then obviously I know that the passion that Frankie's got for that is just amazing.
Yeah.
So I do hand rear, you're right. And hand rearing is a 24/7 job. And I'm just going to give a little shout out, because I know there's hundreds of volunteers across the country that do that. And again, they are just, at home doing their thing. And
talk me through 24 hours in that world.
If a kitten is separated from its mom before 2 days of age, chances are it won't survive. There is a colostrum that the mom produces that the kitten needs. So after 3 days plus, if a kitten is separated from its mom for whatever reason, abandoned, the mom is killed in a road traffic accident, whatever it is, the kitten will come to me, or the kittens, usually it's multiple kittens. They come to me, and then I know I'm not going to get any sleep for the next probably month. So for the first week, I have to hand feed them every hour on the hour. And there's no negotiating. It's 24/7. There's no like, I'll just have an extra 45-minute nap. No, every hour on the hour.
So how do you sleep?
I mean, I've got it down to a fine art, and I can hand feed a kitten or a set of like 3 or 4 kittens and have them toileted because I have to toilet them as well. Moms will have to
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, moms have to stimulate kittens to defecate. And the kittens will not go unless they're stimulated. So you have to get a little bit of wet cotton wool and stimulate them, then they pee and poop. If you don't do that, obviously they'll become infected. The reason why they do that is because in the wild, a mother cat has to go and eat. She has to feed herself. So she can't have the kittens peeing and pooping while she's gone because that would attract predators. So they will only pee and poop when the mom's there or when they're stimulated to go. So I have to feed them and stimulate them and get them back to sleep. As soon as they have eaten, they will sleep anyway. And then I can catch maybe 40 minutes.
Well, Frankie is caring for a litter of kittens at the moment, and she's going to show me.
So Bellatrix here is my foster cat. I'm not sure, are you going to come out?
Bellatrix.
She's probably a bit unsure with all these people in the house.
Hello, sweetheart.
So she's 1.5 years old.
Yeah.
She's been with me since 3 weeks before she gave birth. The kittens are now 3 weeks old, so she's been with me 6 weeks.
Hello, darling.
It is unfortunately her 3rd litter, and she's probably the poster child for, the reason why you should neuter your cats.
Oh, they're gorgeous, aren't they? So
they would normally be in the birthing box, but because you guys were coming, we got them out
Right.
today.
Oh,
They're starting to come out anyway now.
Right. And so what do you do with them as sort of a foster carer from here then now? What do you...
So basically, because these kittens are very healthy, it's just monitoring them and getting them to a kilo in weight. Once they get to 1 kilo, then because it's a charity, we can have them neutered. Normally in private care, you would have them neutered at 2 kilos.
Right.
But once these are 9 weeks old, they will be neutered.
And do they already have homes, do you know? Or what will happen to them as far as the homing process is concerned for you?
It's a good question, Matt, because I cannot get involved in the homing.
Right.
Because I wouldn't let them go anywhere. You could be the Pope, married to a queen, and I'd be like, oh, you live in a palace, bit drafty. No, there'd be no homes good enough for my kittens. So what I do is I send them back when they're old enough and strong enough to the charity, and then they take the rehoming process from there, which is only right and proper because they have to find homes that are correct and appropriate for each kitten. These kittens are very healthy, and it's all gone very well.
Yeah.
So we have no issues, but oftentimes in rescue, of course, we get very, very poorly kittens or that have very specific issues, and then they will need to be homed in a very specific way.
This one looks like it's quite awake. Can I pick that one up, do you think? So I've just got hold of you now, and you are a handsome boy.
So as you can see, his eyes are just, they're blue, and they will turn to their normal colour, so probably green, or it could be yellow, it could be amber.
Yeah.
It could stay blue. That will happen in the next 5 weeks, probably around 6 to 8 weeks old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once the kittens are born, they're actually born a little bit what we would call premature. So they're blind and they're deaf, and then the eyesight and the ears develop once they've been born. Oh. Yeah, so these guys, their ears have only just popped open.
Oh, Mum's back.
She's checking out.
Hi, sweetheart.
I know she looks a bit of a raggle-taggle, and I do brush her every day, but it's hard work being a mom. Oh. So she's trying her best.
Yeah, I mean, she's quite light, isn't she?
She's very thin.
Yeah, she's quite light, and she's sort of mid-coated, black, gorgeous eyes.
So when she arrived with me, she was very food aggressive. Right. I think she lived in possibly a multi-animal household where food was obviously... there probably wasn't enough food for a cat that had 2 litters and was on her 3rd litter. She probably needed more. And so when she came and I used to feed her, she would get quite aggressive around the food, around feeding time. She would growl at the food, she would growl at me. She occasionally sort of went for me. This has all calmed down now because she's got food security. And I'm trying to put more weight on her. But it's, I've been supplementing her. She gets a treat once a week where she gets extra food. And she also gets kitten milk replacement, which is also good for lactating queens. So she's... it's hard to put weight onto cats that have just given birth.
Yeah, sure.
She's supporting all 4 of these. The only nutrition they're getting right now is from her.
Well, they're beautiful. Well, thank you so much for that, Frankie. I've thoroughly enjoyed that.
Well, who wouldn't enjoy hanging out with kittens, really?
It's time to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor, Harrington's Dog Food. Now, of course, if you have dogs, they are part of the family, so it's only right that we pay as much attention as to what's going into their bowl as we do with our food. And that is why Harrington's superfood range is made with freshly prepared meat ingredients and boosted with carefully selected superfoods to support your dog's everyday health. Shop the range at harringtonspetfood.com and at leading grocery and pet retailers nationwide. Let me take you back to your Springers. Because I've got an image of you and 2 Springer Spaniels, and they're just going, like, literally searching,
everywhere.
looking, walking. Yeah. So you must have had to give them an enormous amount of exercise. Did you do that? Did you have other help within the family, or was it sort of
No, I did that most of myself, you know, because it was lived out in the countryside, so it was easy just to, like, nip over into farmers' fields and stuff, and or, like, you know, public footpaths, and but they were just, like, non-stop energy.
Yeah.
You know, especially the girl, you know, she was like I say, you know, you get a pebble and you could throw it into bushes and everything, and she would find it, you know, and then come back and then wanting to go again, you know. So just amazing energy, but great dogs, you know. It was something,
sure.
But I wasn't ready for that sort of that amount of exercise.
What the intensity of it? Were you not?
Yeah,
Did you get them as pups?
Yeah, I got them as pups. Yeah.
Were they litter, brother and sister, or were they? Yeah,
no, they were litter. Yeah, brother and sister. Yeah.
Right,
so
okay.
Max and
it's
Jessie,
interesting you say that, because I think a lot of people, particularly with dogs, because breeds and breed-specific traits are so different and so interesting. I think a lot of people will see a dog on the internet that they like the look of.
And the character is...
And not particularly understand the breed-specific nature of it. Yeah. And I think that's... and even with cats, you know, sometimes people, particularly now in the social media age, people will see pictures of cats and cats doing funny things and cats looking cute and cats wearing outfits. I hate that. But, you know... they don't really understand the amount of work involved. And I think, like you said, even with you...
It was a shock to me.
Yeah.
It was a real shock, But you know, they had great lives, you know. They were living out in the countryside and...
But I guess great respite for you then, if you're going through stressful matches and stuff like that, to be able to get out with the dogs. I mean, it must have just, you know, been quite a relief at times.
Yeah, and that's like, you know, like with my fishing, you know, the fishing took over a little bit later on. You know, and it's that point of getting away from everything.
Yeah.
And that's what you do with the dogs, you know, like you take the dogs out and you're out in the field and they're doing what they do and you're just out in the countryside.
Yeah.
And they always got a pair of binoculars with me so I can watch everything else as well.
Yeah.
Bird watching.
Yeah.
But 90s footballers bird watching. Didn't need binoculars for that, babe.
But I mean, it's quite something, isn't it, to be lifted out of a cauldron that you must have experienced as a younger lad. You know what I mean? That intense energy, that feel that you must have got mid-match, certainly when things, you know, were getting more and more intense.
And then when things go wrong as well, you know, when, you know, as a goalkeeper, you make mistakes, you know, and you know, so that's always with you. But it's just nice to, like you said, just to get out, take the dogs out, or go fishing like I still do.
Yeah.
You know, and just get away from everything to try and then to reset.
Yeah, you must really need to relax these days.
I know, it's terrible.
Exhausting.
I'm like proper chill.
Yeah. But you must have to be at this stage in your life because of what you've experienced. You know what I mean? To be sort of an Arsenal legend, you know, things would have gone so great for you. I mean, the titles that you won, and then to be England #1. And, you know what I mean? When you think back to what you went through, do you wonder how you did it?
Yeah, now I do. You know, and because... When I see all the footballers going through what they're going through, but when you're in it, you deal with it. You know what I mean? You know, it's not something that you think so much about, you know, because you're doing it every single day.
And you didn't know any different, right?
And I didn't know any different, you know, and it's a game every 3 days, you know, so then you're getting judged every single game, you know, so that's a pressure that you're in every day.
So, like, no matter how well you did the game before, nobody cares. They just, if you have a howler the next game, you just...
Yeah. You know, even if you got man of the match the game before and then you make a mistake, everybody remembers the mistake.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got that pressure all the time. But...
It's much like being married, really.
Oh, it's not.
No.
We won't go there. But it was just, you know, just so good to just get away. People ask me now, you know, do you miss it? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't miss it one bit.
Is that because it was so intense, do you think? It was the intensity that you find physically difficult to cope with, I imagine. Mentally and physically.
It wasn't difficult at the time.
No.
You know, it was what it was. You know, and what it is how can I still play really well with all this going on?
Yeah.
You know, and that's where you get the difference in players. You know, can you cope with that pressure? Can you still play with nerves? Can you deal with all that external pressure as well?
Yeah,
you know, and that's when you find out who the best players are.
How did your sort of pet journey progress from those early experiences that you had with kittens as a little girl, and how did that fit with all of your ice skating?
So I had cats all my life until I was 18, and then I turned professional as an ice skater. And once you turn professional, I was travelling the world. So for the next 12 years, I was travelling the world. didn't stop me rescuing cats.
Oh, really?
No,
I thought you were going to say it was impossible from then on. Right.
Didn't stop me rescuing cats. So I remember my first contract was in France. Brilliant. Was coming home from a very inebriated night out. Big up the girls. We were having. I was a showgirl, so
She'd had one drink.
Yeah, I had one drink. I was all over it. And it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. And we were crawling home, about 6 or 7 of us, and we could hear meowing. And somebody had dumped a bunch of kittens, newborns, in a plastic bag in a skip. I was the smallest, got tossed into the skip, retrieved the kittens, rescued them. Sadly, it wasn't a great story, but one of them did survive. They were way too young.
You took them back to a little flat that you were renting or something?
Yeah, so we all lived together. We all had separate flats, but all in the same building. So we took it in turns, looking after them, took them to the vets, who sadly didn't make it, but one did. He grew up to be a big cat. I was there for a year. He grew up to be a full-blown cat. We left him with a family that lived close by. So my rescue story didn't end. I've rescued cats. I've volunteered in Bermuda. I've volunteered in Canada. I mean, I've always been...
As your work's taken you around the world,
yeah, I'm a perennial volunteer. No, they find me. They find me. They find me. I think I've got a really heavy dose of... Do you know what toxoplasmosis is? No. Okay.
Well, go on.
But these words come out, all these different words every day, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Is it like sort of instinct? I mean, you do have sort of...
No, it's a virus. It's a disease. It's a bacteria that lives inside you.
Oh, dear.
About 70% of the world has it. But it's a particular single-celled bacteria, I think, that can only complete its life cycle in cats. So, but humans have it, but it can only complete its life cycle in cats, so it's constantly...
looking for a donor.
So apparently, it changes your behaviour, and it changes the way you smell, so that cats find you attractive, so it can then hop onto the cat.
No way.
To complete its life. I'm not lying,
Wow.
look it up.
Have you ever been tested?
I have it. I mean, I 100% have it.
You
I'm
don't
the
know. I don't
mother-load.
need to be tested.
I take it I've got it then as well.
I'm patient zero, people. Test me, please test me. I definitely have it. And apparently it actually changes your behaviour and it makes you less risk averse. So you're more likely to get into an accident and die, so a cat will then come and eat your corpse and it can complete its life cycle. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You think I'm bonkers?
Wow, maybe
you
that's
think I'm
right.
bonkers, don't you?
This comes out every day, mate. I'm just like new
You
stories.
think I'm bonkers?
Maybe it is if you're more less risk averse, doing all your tricks and all of that on the ice.
Yeah,
and
maybe
all.
that was it. Yeah. So, I mean, cats find me. I've always been really attractive to cats. I think I smell like cat pee. Do I smell like cat pee? I don't know.
No,
Okay.
you don't. I'll be honest.
I might, subtly.
I thought that was David's aftershave.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
I'm Oda Cats. Maybe I'm marketable. Like Gwyneth Paltrow scented candles, I'm Oda Cats.
Oh, God.
So yes, this is a real thing. So toxoplasmosis. So cats have always been attracted to me. I've always been able to rescue cats. And then obviously when I retired, after having travelled the world and rescued many cats along the way, I then settled down and now we have 4 cats.
Yeah. Did you know what you were getting yourself in for, David?
The cats are the least of his issues.
I mean, what a world that's come from you two, getting together.
Do you know we grew up 9
exactly.
miles away from each other? 9 miles away
Well,
from
I
each
knew
other.
obviously you were both from the north.
Rotherham
then,
and
Yorkshire,
Sheffield.
innit?
Yeah. Posh girl.
Yeah.
Sheffield.
That's right.
It is when you come
Did you
from
feel like you
Rotherham.
wanted to settle back up there, or are you quite happy down here?
No, I lived away from home from the age of 19. I went down to Peterborough, then Birmingham, then QPR, which is like Ivor and
I mean,
Uxbridge side
they
of
all
London.
sound really glamorous, but I'd love to live in the Caribbean. Well, what are we doing here? What are we doing, people?
We've got plenty of cats over there that need rescuing.
right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. So no, there's not been an urge to go back. My mum and dad are still there. My brother's still there. So
Yeah.
we sometimes go up, for birthdays
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But they like to come down. Yeah. And my mum and dad come down for the start of the fishing season. It starts on the 16th of June, but they come down on the 15th. And as soon as the clock strikes 12 o'clock and becomes the 16th of June, I fire a bit of champagne in the river. We fish for about an hour.
Do you?
Yeah, and then we go to bed. Then my dad, he's always first up. He's
Yeah,
getting ready for the next day, and we fish all day. So and we've done that every single year, haven't we?
I mean, David loves fishing overnight. There's oftentimes I'll go to bed and at like 1 or 2 in the morning, he'll be like, "Babe, I've got a fish. Come and take a picture." I'm like, "I will kill this man. I will go to prison for this man."
That's incredible. You can roll out of bed though and just fish in the back garden, isn't
He
it?
loves it.
And there's some big fish in the river as well. So it's
Wow. So you're living out your dream here. aren't you, to be honest?
and the rest.
Well, here on the Petcast, we always have an expert send us a little message. So
An expert.
yes, Well, here we
In
go.
what?
So, well, all sorts.
Oh, exciting.
We have a wonderful message from a pet nutritionist from Worcestershire. So here we go.
Hi Matt, I'm Anisha, a pet nutritionist and owner of Wild Whiskers Pet Nutrition. Here are the top 3 biggest mistakes people make when feeding their pets. First, cats and hydration. Cats naturally don't drink enough water, which can lead to serious issues in the future. An easy fix is to provide multiple water sources like bowls and fountains, and adding extra moisture into their food as often as possible. You can even add extra water into their already wet food.
Water into their food.
So this is very interesting because I always think that feral cats and adult cats and kittens are all very different species. I know they're all cats, but they do all have very different needs. And so obviously when you're dealing with a healthy adult cat, their wet food is normally about 70% water if you're feeding them wet food. So there is quite a lot of water in there, but cats and adult cats particularly often suffer from kidney disease. It's the one thing that cats, it's like their kryptonite. Kidneys and teeth are the 2 big things with cats. So she's right, you can add extra water to cats' cat food. But there's also a company out there now that has a water fountain that you can link to the cat's microchip. So if you've got a multi-cat household, you can tell which cats are drinking what and when. Now, we have a diabetic cat. He's 17. And so, of course, water is a huge issue. We're always concerned about his hydration levels. But I have a friend, actually, David James's girlfriend. So David James, the other goalkeeper. Sorry to mention him. I know the competition. But
Not as good.
No,
You know what I mean?
I didn't say that.
Talented. You live
J-Mo's bigger than me, be careful.
So David James's girlfriend, Christy, she's actually from Hong Kong, and they have a different outlook to cats' hydration over there. So elderly cats, if they won't drink, what they will do is they will inject some fluid under the skin subcutaneously just to keep the hydration levels up, and that can really extend a pet's life. Now, I don't recommend that to everybody because obviously it's something that you'd need to be specially trained to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are different ways, and if you look around the world, the cat community will come together and give you different tips about how to hydrate your cat. So Anisha's completely correct.
And we've got a fountain and we've got a river. So
Yes.
they've got more than enough to.
And a massive fountain at
But
the
she's
bottom
right,
of the
yeah.
garden.
With cats, it's a really big issue. So it is really important to keep your cats hydrated.
But with Smokey then, I mean, what sort of schedule are you on with his treatment? How does that work?
So Smokey, the way that we understood that he had diabetes, the way it was diagnosed was because he'd lost a lot of weight, an incredible amount of weight, an incredible amount in a very short space of time. Took him to the vets, tested him.
And was drinking like so much
He was
water.
drinking like crazy, and took him to the vets, and they diagnosed diabetes. He had always been a chunky fella. We got him when he was 3 years old, and he'd had peritonitis as well. So we knew that there were issues. He was always the cat that would steal crisps and chips and things that cats shouldn't like and shouldn't eat. So, you know, we knew that he was like nutritionally a little bit off, and we could never really quite get him on track. We gave him special food. We got him on a diet. Always been a struggle with him. The other cats, fine, but he's always been a struggle. So when he was diagnosed with diabetes, you know, it was a really sad time. It was 3.5 years ago. We didn't think that was a great prognosis, but the vet said, you know, if you're prepared to give him injections, it'll be fine. Well, all of my cats are recall trained. Basically, everybody in my life is recall trained. But specifically the cats, because for my own peace of mind. Because I know if the cat doesn't come when I call it, there's something wrong. So all of my cats are recall trained. So Smokey's recall trained, so I would call him to give him his injection, and it started to detrain him. Because then he was like, oh, if I come over, she's going to give me an injection. It started to
that emotion. Yeah,
he
exactly.
detrained himself.
Exactly, yeah.
But actually, after about 6 months, he started to understand the relationship between the injection, which is twice a day, every 12 hours. He started to understand the relationship between the injection and feeling better. So now if you're late by half an hour, he'll sit by the fridge. He's like...
He's waiting for his treatment.
Hello, people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's an inject. What do you inject?
It's insulin. It's exactly almost the same exact product as you inject humans.
Right.
So you have to be careful. And we both do it. And David's always been a bit off with needles. He's not been his favourite. So it was something you've done really well, because you've had to really learn that, haven't you?
Yeah, because I remember being at school, like waiting for the big injections, and just passing out, just fainting, as a lack of bumming.
All that time when it ripped your scrotum open and they had to inject you and you've fainted. No,
What? I didn't faint.
Did you not? Well,
I had to go back out and play it second half.
What happened?
I think I've just explained it.
You died.
I was playing for Arsenal against Leeds, actually, at Leeds.
Oh.
And I went down at, I think it was Lee Chapman's feet, and he started at my knee, went all the way up, and I knew I'd got pain, and I'm like laid down on the floor.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's a man thing, I think. Yeah, go on.
And all I remember, I'll be laid on the floor, obviously holding my you-know-whats. And Gordon Strachan was playing for Leeds at the time, and he's like stood above me. He's going, "Get up, you southern softy." I was like, "Southern?" and then the physio. And then the physio came on, and I went, Gary, it's my nuts. And he just pulled my slip to the side, and there was a lot of blood. And
David!
He ended up like packing it and stopping the bleeding on the pitch. This is. And then it was only like 5 minutes before half time. So then I waited for the rest of the game to finish, went straight into the medical room at Leeds, had him sewn up, and went back out and played the second
You
half.
had them sewn up and went back on for the second half?
and then when I
You're
went,
talking about them like they're family members. I had them sewn up.
when I went back out though, the lads were like, they'd found out what had happened, and they gave me a round of applause for carrying on.
Honestly, I'm giving you one now. I mean,
Don't ever let it be said that my husband hasn't got balls of steel. We know he does.
You had quite a relationship with needles because of that.
Yeah, exactly. But now I'm okay. I can inject Smokey in.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we're 3.5 years further down the line, and
Every
he's still,
day, you're still doing it.
Twice a day.
He's looking, he's looking what he looks like, but
And he's 17.
17 and a half.
That's incredible.
yeah.
He'll be 18 in September. So, I mean, the prognosis for cats with diabetes is not great. And of course, there are other health issues around that. And of course, hydration and stuff are important, but we're doing what we can and we're monitoring him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a little Petcast quiz?
Yes.
Here we go. This particular one is called Catfish or Footballer.
Right.
I mean, how do you know the answer? Footballer.
Okay, so you've got to guess which one is which. So we're going to start with RAS. R-A-A-S. Okay, not W-R-A-S-S-E. So is RAS a catfish or footballer?
I'm fairly confident it's not a cat.
Yeah, I'm going to go with fish.
I knew you would.
Because I can't think of any footballers called Ras.
Do you know, it is a cat.
Oh,
It
no.
is a cat
I'm
from
leaving.
Ras Island, but it is Indonesia. So your excuse for not getting it. Very athletic build, strong attachment to their owners with a distinctive loud purr.
I'm not going to play anymore.
0.
There we are.
I'm out.
Toy Bob.
I think a toy bob is a cat, isn't it?
You're right. It is. It is. And this one is small size and it's very short tail.
I was
actually,
going to
if you
say
show
they've
them.
got small tails, yeah.
Let's go with Guppy as the last one.
Oh, I don't know. I've no idea what a guppy could be of you.
Yep, it's fish. Or it could be a footballer like Steve Guppy. There you go.
He's got it. Finished on a trick question. There you go.
Steve Guppy, who is that?
So me and Steve Guppy, well, Steve played for Leicester, right? There's a little good story for you. So England are playing Scotland away as the playoff game, the first playoff game to get into Euro 2000 with Kevin Keegan as manager. Me and Steve Guppy and Kevin Keegan went trout fishing the night before the game.
Oh.
Kevin wanted us to go fishing to chill out and
Consummate
just
professionals.
like proper calm, And
Excellent.
we went fishing the night before we played Scotland, and we beat them 2-0. There you go.
Brilliant.
Good job, Steve Guppy.
I know.
There you go. Well, there we are.
Big up the fishy footballers.
Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for inviting us
brilliant,
round.
mate.
I've really enjoyed chatting all things pets with you. It's been
Been a
brilliant.
pleasure. Thank you.
Well, that is it for this edition of the Petcast. Hope you've enjoyed it. There's plenty more from wherever you get your podcasts from. And if you and your pets have both enjoyed it, then please do subscribe, join the community, and never miss an episode. But from all of us here on the Petcast, bye.
Brilliant. One take wonder.